Mm. Hello, guys. I hope you're having a great evening wherever you are.
Hey
Welcome
guys,
to.
sorry guys,
Hello, Charles.
it was muted. Yeah, please go on. Then I'll take the intro.
Sure, sure. I hope you're having. I hope you're having a great evening today. I hope you're having a lovely morning, depending on where you are. Today, we decided to tackle an issue that most of the community members do face all the time, countless times, and this issue is. Oh, someone just made away with my money in the crypto space. I need help. I need help. I need to appeal. Those kinds of issues. If that sounds familiar to you, then we're going to talk about it today, and that is crypto scams. I have Charles here with me, hosting this session, and I'll be helping also in hosting this session as well. I hope you're ready to engage with us. Would like to hear your questions concerning the popular scams that you've encountered before. You can share your stories. You can also ask questions about how you can navigate different scams. Feel free to comment about any scams that you've encountered in the past, so that we may learn, because scammers learn too, and they advance their methods. I will let Charles introduce himself before we get started with this session. On to you, Charles.
Yeah, thank you, Ray. Sorry, at the beginning I was talking on mute. I didn't quite realize, but sorry for the catch here. As I was saying, I usually like to start each and every session with just a question. I'll leave the question to your mind as we just continue with the session and dissect this particular question, right? Have so much information out there available to the public, right? And with this information comes knowledge, and also comes users who are trying to prey on it, right? So think of it this way: with all this information, why do people still fall for community group scams and just in crypto or just other crypto scams, right? So this is what you're going to dissect today. We're going to look at just basically different types of scams that you should be aware about, right? So that you don't really fall praise to these victims who just are there to infiltrate community groups and prey on your trust, and misinformation are reaching the community, right? So this webinar will basically dive into the tactics scammers use, the real world use cases, or rather case studies, not use cases, case studies that have been studied out there, and that you should be aware about the best practices just to safeguard yourself and your community, right? So we'll uncover the red flags, share just expert insights, and I really hope you are super excited or super pumped for this session. Let me just prepare my presentation. I really hope you're super excited for this session as we look to dive into it. As I share my screen, please feel free to share any scams that you've seen out there. You might have fallen a victim, or rather, even you might just know about the scam. So we're going to dissect this so that you can just be aware about that, so that next time, if you've fallen prey in the past, next time you won't fall for it, and if you haven't, so that you can just be aware of it. So yeah, this is what you're going to look at today. So I'll let Ray take the mic as we dive into the presentation for today. Yes, Mr. Ray.
Thank you, Charles. I hope you guys are excited. We are talking about scams, not to scam you, but to guide you on how to not get scammed. Crypto scams and how to protect yourself. That's our topic for today. On to the presentation outline. Charles, next slide.
Sorry, yeah. Right, there's the next slide.
Some of the things we're going to talk about, number one is what are crypto scams? We're going to define them. Other than that, we'll look at the impact of what are some of the impacts of crypto scams. How do they impact you? How do they impact the community? How do they affect us? Then once we're done talking about the impact of crypto scams, we look at some of the common crypto scams. Probably you've fallen victim of one or two, or if you're a safety guru, you've never fallen for any. Then we'll talk about the safety measures. How do you exactly protect yourself from such scams in case they come your way? How do you read them? How do you notice them in such a way that you can keep yourself safe from them? And now let's jump into what crypto scams are. Next slide, Charles. Okay, if I say scam, what do you think of first? I know the first thing that comes to your mind is something that is kind of fraudulent, or something that is a fallacy, or something that hides in something legitimate. It acts as though it's something legitimate, but it's not really legitimate. That's what a crypto scam is. In basic terms, based on our definition, crypto scams are fraudulent schemes that are designed to deceive individuals into losing their digital assets through manipulation, deception, or technical exploits. What do we mean by that? As we've talked, as I've mentioned before, I say that crypto scams are fraudulent schemes. By fraud, it's something that hides in itself in something that looks legitimate. If you look at it, you think that okay, this is actually true, but then it is not as true as you imagine it is. It's like interacting with. Let me say there are these plastics that look like metal. So interacting with a plastic that looks like a piece of a rod of iron, a rod of plastic that looks like a rod of iron. Now the plastic can be called a fraudulent rod of iron because it's not really made of iron, but it's disguising itself in that kind of way. Now crypto scams disguise themselves in such kinds of ways, and then they pretend, and then after that they make away with your cryptocurrencies. It could be your Bitcoin, it could be your altcoins, whichever cryptocurrencies that you could be holding, they make away with them. Well, let's look at some of the impacts of crypto scams on us. First of all, number one is loss of money. Lots of people lose money to scams. Lots of people, they lose money to scams. And some of them could be simple as airdrops, fake airdrops. We're going to look at what fake airdrops is going further. Some of them could be you trying to trade with someone, and then that person ends up deceiving you, and as a result, they make away the money. Also, another thing is crypto scams affect the industry. Seriously, it affects the industry. The reason it affects the industry is because it alters the reputation that people have of crypto. There's a good number of people who are skeptical about crypto. Whenever they hear the word crypto, they want to run away because they've grown to associate cryptocurrencies to scams. They got taught about cryptocurrencies the wrong way, and that has affected the entire reputation of that whole industry. Also, another thing that might happen, some of the impacts is mostly mistrust, and then people don't feel safe in different communities. They do affect lots of entities. Also, cryptocurrency scams have even led to shutdown of some exchanges and lots of money. Basically, mostly things related to that. Yeah, and in some cases, in extreme cases, cryptocurrency scams have even led to suicide. There are people who committed suicide because they lost all their money in crypto, which is very sad. And that's why today's session is very important. If you never pay attention to most of these sessions, then this is one you should pay attention to. Also, if you have any friends who would love to venture into the crypto industry, this is a session that you'd love to share with them so that they can learn what crypto scams are and how they can avoid them, to ensure that they are safe in the space, to ensure that they are safe everywhere they go. Feel free to share this session with anyone. This Binance Live session, you can share it with your friends wherever they are. Tell them to join the session. Let them learn about crypto scams so that when they get into the industry, they are free from such scammers. Well, next slide. Now, what are some of the common scams in the crypto space? Or what are some of the common scams? We're going to talk about them one by one, and I hope by the end you shall have understood some of them that we're going to talk about here. There are more scams that we couldn't mention because scammers evolve. Scammers evolve, and that's why you should do your best to evolve as well. If you do not evolve, you shall not grow, you shall not learn much about the industry, and scammers will come up with new ways to scam you. So ensure you evolve. Some of the common crypto scams include: number one, fake cryptocurrency exchanges. We're going to look at how those actually operate. Number two, phishing scams. We're going to define what phishing is and what phishing scams exactly are. Other than that, there are on-chain scams. By on-chain scams, what do we mean? I know you're already curious. Are there off-chain scams? Are there on-chain scams? Well, we'll talk about that as well. Then we do have P2P scams. What are P2P scams? Probably if you've traded on Binance P2P and you interacted with malicious parties, you must have experienced that. If you experience that on P2P, remember to contact customer support. Remember to file an appeal. Make customer support your help. Customer support will help you so much on that. The next scam, fake Binance apps. That has been an issue. Actually, in a tweet, I think it's in the course of this week, in a tweet that the Binance CEO Richard Teng posted, he mentioned that you should ensure that you do not interact with fake Binance wallets or fake Binance apps. Do not interact with them because such apps are going to steal your information, and as a result, they can log into your actual wallet and steal all your funds. Be careful not to interact with such. Then another thing is wallet manipulation. We're going to look at what wallet manipulation is and how it happens. When we're done with that, we'll talk about WhatsApp phishing scams and social engineering. Basically, if we talk of WhatsApp phishing scams, remember WhatsApp, it's like any social media platform, and where WhatsApp is, you can substitute it with Instagram phishing scams, if possible, TikTok phishing scams, all the phishing scams that happen on different social media platforms. We're going to talk about that as well. On to the next one. We'll start with fake cryptocurrency exchanges. I know what you're thinking. Can there be fake cryptocurrency exchanges? Can I interact with a fake cryptocurrency exchange? Yes, well, very much you can interact with the fake cryptocurrency exchange. And how does that happen exactly? Fake cryptocurrency exchanges mimic original cryptocurrency exchanges that you know about. They'll act as though they are original, legitimate. You'll even look at those cryptocurrency exchanges and notice that trades are happening and the price of Bitcoin is similar to the actual price of Bitcoin. Yeah, I know it's crazy. They actually take time to build all that infrastructure. They might even buy a domain that looks real. And then when you see that, you'll end up trading on that exchange with hopes that you could buy something interesting, something shiny. Well, I'll give you a personal story. It was back in 2022. There's this guy, his name is Ray Allen. Ray Allen got invited to a fake cryptocurrency exchange by somebody in Discord. And when Ray saw that, It looked very shiny. It came with a bonus. The bonus was a bonus of 3 BTC. Ryan thought to himself, 3 Bitcoin. Wow, I get to walk away with 3 Bitcoin. That sounds so cool. Let me just go and open an account in this cryptocurrency exchange. So when he went ahead, he did it. He opened his account on that cryptocurrency exchange. And he managed to trade his Bitcoin for Monero. That's what he did. He traded his Bitcoin for Monero. And then he noticed, oh, it looks legitimate because if I can switch from Bitcoin to Monero, and then he traded Monero for another cryptocurrency and another cryptocurrency and another cryptocurrency. And then he tried to play with the money and he saw the money increasing actually. Then he thought to himself, well, this might just be legit. Then he thought to himself, maybe I should withdraw. He tried withdrawing and then he was told that for you to withdraw money from this exchange, they have to reach a certain amount. Which is crazy. Why would an exchange tell you that you have to reach a certain amount of cryptocurrency to withdraw? Especially if you already have lots of cryptocurrencies. Like you have 3 Bitcoin and then an exchange tells you you have to reach 4 Bitcoin for you to withdraw your Bitcoin. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. If you hear anything that sounds like that, just know that's a fake cryptocurrency exchange kind of scam. Be careful with that. They can easily make away with your money by pretending to be very legitimate, and some of them might actually give you actual money for you to think that they are legitimate. And then after you could withdraw your first balance, your second balance, and then on the third one you decide, okay, let me put lots of my money in here. You end up putting lots of your money in that exchange, and then just like that you'll never withdraw again and your money will be gone. That's how fake cryptocurrency exchanges do operate. Always ensure that you interact with the actual domains of cryptocurrency exchanges. Like for Binance, it's binance.com. That's the official domain for Binance. And also, always ensure you do research on any cryptocurrency exchange that you are trading on. You can always refer to platforms like Crunchbase. Crunchbase do deep dives on different companies and everything that those companies are all about. You can also look into TechCrunch. You can get some information about those companies on TechCrunch. And then you can look into the founding team for that cryptocurrency exchange. Who is the person behind it? And if the person behind that cryptocurrency exchange are not showing themselves, why are they not showing themselves? Do your research about any cryptocurrency exchange before you trade to prevent yourself from encountering the cryptocurrency exchanges. Next, the number 2 kind of scam is a phishing scam. I know when you hear fishing, you think of a fisherman with a hook trying to get fish from the lake, or maybe it could be from the ocean. That's what you're thinking about. It's sort of similar. It's not that far because fishermen, these people who do fishing scams, they creep into your inbox somehow, into your email, and they're trying to fish for your credentials. That's what they're trying to do, or they're trying to fish money out of you. So that's what phishing scams are about. So how do phishing scams do work? There are different categories of phishing scams. Some of them could be via messages like Telegram. Some of them could be via your email. You could get a fake Binance email address telling you, hello, Mr. Charles, could you withdraw this amount of money from a Binance account? Or some of it could be, hello, Charles, you just got this amount of money, but in order to withdraw it, you need to add this amount of money to your Binance wallet, or you should send this amount of money to this wallet address for you to withdraw your money from Binance. It's ridiculous. Why would you be asked to send your money to a certain wallet address for you to withdraw your money from Binance? It sounds crazy, sounds fishy, sounds like phishing. Be cautious of such. Well, we're going to talk about all the measures you can use to prevent yourself from these scams once we're done talking about this. we only talked about how to prevent yourself from the ones for cryptocurrency exchanges, but we're going to talk about these others going forward. The next category of scams are on-chain scams. You're wondering, on-chain, why are these scams on-chain? What do we mean by on-chain? When we say on-chain, we mean that all this happens within the blockchain. And yes, you got it right. You can be scammed within the blockchain as well. I know you didn't expect that. Yeah. Now, we can categorize scams into two categories. Number one, on-chain. Number two, off-chain. When we talk of scams that happen on-chain, those are scams that happen on top of the blockchain or on the blockchain. When we talk about scams that happen off-chain, those are scams that happen off the blockchain. And that could be the P2P scams that's off the blockchain. Scams that happen like when someone tricks you somehow or social engineers you, that's off-chain, and then they make away with their money. Yes. Hello guys, I hope you're with me. Yeah, so those are some of the scams that do happen. While we wait for Charles, I would like to hear your questions on what you think about your experience being scammed. Have you been scammed by someone before? And if you've been scammed by someone before, how was that experience? Yeah, so while we wait for Charles to put out the slide, kindly ask, you may comment on Telegram. Would like to hear your opinions and your thoughts. Well, back to on-chain scams. As I was mentioning, there are on-chain and off-chain scams. On-chain scams are scams that happen on top of the blockchain. Off-chain scams are scams that happen off the blockchain. And I gave an example of on-chain scams being things like maybe someone tricking you into sharing your seed phrase or the details to your wallet and then making away with the cryptocurrencies like that. That's an on-chain scam. Another possible on-chain scam is possibly when someone shares a fake airdrop with you or they poison your address. We're going to look at what that is. Rug pulls. We're going to look at what all those things are in depth. On to the next slide. Well, let's start with a very popular one, rug pull. I know you're wondering, why would someone pull the rug? Why? I want to start with an incident. I'll create a scene for you. Open your minds. Okay, see this in your mind. Imagine 10 people standing on a mat somewhere, like let's say on top of, let's say in a 10-story building, just at the rooftop. There are people standing on a mat there, and then someone comes and pulls that mat. All these people will fall down, which sounds sad. Why would someone pull the mat or pull the rug? The mat is the rug in this case. If someone pulls the rug, everybody will fall down. Now, rug pulls are eerily similar. How similar are they? How similar are they, and what does a rug pull mean? I'll start by defining what rug pulling means. When we say someone has rug pulled, it's in simple terms is someone removing. I'll explain what liquidity is, but someone removing liquidity from a liquidity pool. I'll explain what liquidity pool is and what liquidity is for you to understand better. Okay, to understand what liquidity is basically, let me say, is amount of money, like amount of money that is supporting a certain market. In every, when markets are being made, like if for there to be a trade, there has to be an amount being traded, and for markets that involve finances or for markets that involve money, there has to be money being exchanged for another, and for crypto, there has to be crypto being exchanged for another. Now, liquidity is now the entire pool of money that supports this exchange. Without that pool of money, it means that exchange will not be able to occur. In crypto, there are people called liquidity providers. Liquidity providers are, in traditional terms, you can refer to them as market makers. And in simple terms, that means they're the ones who supply money into the market. They supply the money that people trade into the market. That's what they do. So liquidity providers usually provide liquidity for different on-chain applications, DeFi applications. And when they provide this liquidity, people are able to trade. And that's why you find people are able to trade meme coins. That's popular with the meme coins and lots of DeFi protocols, but mostly meme coins is quite popular because of the Solana fiasco the Solana frenzy that has been going on, and the Sui frenzy the meme coin frenzy that just ended. Yeah. Now all these have been very popular. So what happens in terms of pulling? What does it refer? What do we refer to when we are saying someone has pulled the rug or someone has rug pulled? Let's say, for example, we have person W. Person W happened to create a very shiny meme coin. And when he created a shiny meme coin, he did add liquidity. By liquidity, he now provided the supply for people to trade the meme coin. Yes, he provided that supply, he provided that money, and that's the liquidity. He made the market. So once person W has made the market, other people will come to trade that market. You'll find that this person comes to the market, they want to trade that cryptocurrency. This other person comes to the market, they want to trade that other cryptocurrency. And then they come in. The people might come in until they're up to, let's say, 50,000 buyers into that market. Once there are 50,000 buyers and the price of that cryptocurrency has gone up, when it goes up, it means the amount of liquidity, because the liquidity or the money provided is usually a supply of that new token created, and then it could be a supply of a stable coin. Now, when someone has supplied the stablecoin and that new token being traded, if the price of the token has gone up, it means that the person who is supplying the liquidity, or the person who is supplying the money, will be holding so much of that token, which would have risen in value. Now, normally, what these people will do, they'll just go ahead and remove all their money that has gone up in terms of it could be in terms of dollar terms value, or in terms of Bitcoin value, or in terms of Ethereum or BNB value or Solana value. They'll go ahead and remove all that money, and once they remove that money, everybody else will be left hanging on to nothing. All these tokens that get bought will become worthless, because lots of the money that was holding the liquidity has gone down, and most traders will be left in the trenches. They'll be left with nothing. And that's basically what a rug pull is. And what I explained is the procedure of how it just occurs. Be cautious. Do not trade anything without doing thorough research on it. Ensure you understand anything and everything before you do this. Before you trade it. Ensure you do that. Well, let's go ahead. I hope you've understood what rug pulls are, and I hope you stay safe from it. Do research. Do not trade any meme coin just because it's shiny. Don't trade any cryptocurrency just because it's shiny. Well, the next nature of scam we're going to look at is targeted approval phishing scams. What are targeted approval phishing scams? Okay, I'll talk about a recent occurrence that is closely, almost similar to this. There's a group known as the Lazarus groups, the Lazarus group, and this group is popularly known for hacking people and making away with money, those kinds of things. That's what they're popularly known for. I mean, so the Lazarus group managed to somehow access the safe wallets. They managed to access a wallet called Safe, and that was through targeted approval phishing. And by targeted approval phishing, Sorry, by targeted approval phishing, what that means is you trick someone into sharing the details of their wallet, and once they share the details of their wallet, you're able to access everything that is in their wallet and send yourself. Then post that. Most of these people do is they will send the cryptocurrencies into many wallet addresses and into things like mixers. And once they send them into mixers, they'll conjoin them in such a way that no one can trace these cryptocurrencies, and then go ahead and cash them out. Yeah, a very long process, a very technical process, which is interesting and tiring at the same time. But I don't know why they do it. Well, next slide. The next common kind of on-chain scam is the fake airdrop scam. What is the fake airdrop scam? If you've been in the crypto space for a while, even if it's just for a few weeks or something, probably you've heard of an airdrop. And what people say about airdrops is they're shiny, they're going to the moon. You're going to have so much money. You can mine this cryptocurrency. You can go into this airdrop. You can go into this. That's what people say about airdrops. However, some airdrops are usually fake, and such fake airdrops are airdrops that you should not interact with. What do they do? What do fake airdrops do exactly? What fake airdrops do is they contaminate your wallet address. Once you receive them, they are able to access details to your wallet address, and then they can share it to that team or to those people who intend to make away with your money. And as a result of that, they'll be able to make away with your money. On that, just because an airdrop looks shiny, do not go for it. Always stay vigilant. Do not do every airdrop someone forwards to you. Do not interact with every smart contract someone tells you about. Do not do that. It's a risky move. Next slide. The next on-chain scam we're going to talk about. This is rather technical and very interesting at the same time. It's called MEV, or maximum extractable value. How does it occur? When you're trading on chain, you're usually there are people usually trade on chain, and by trading on chain, you could be trading on a decentralized exchange, or it could be a decentralized exchange or a derivatives platform. You could be trading on that, but this commonly happens in decentralized exchanges, or sometimes DeFi loan apps as well. It happens in that as well. So what happens is MEVs are executed by bots. What do these bots do? These bots will run at what they do. They monitor people who are executing transactions on chain. If you're trying to do a transaction on chain, and then the bot will go ahead and do the transaction before you, and then they could raise their amount. When trading DeFi, there's something called slippage. Slippage is basically an adjustment you have to make for the amount basically on the price you'd like to buy that cryptocurrency that you're buying on the decentralized exchange, and the amount you want to use to buy that cryptocurrency exchange. So when MEV bots can make you spend more for a cryptocurrency which has a lower market price than it looks like it has. That's what MEVs can do. They can make you spend more, and they can make you use more money, and then you end up losing more for a transaction that would have rather cost you cheaper. That's what MEVs do. How do you prevent yourself from MEVs? Well, we'll talk about that. That's more technical. Some solutions to these scams are more technical. Some solutions are just understanding them and how to navigate them. For today's session, we will mostly cover the solutions we'll talk about are solutions that are less technical, the ones that you can at least navigate yourself We'll also mention the solutions that are more technical, but that will only be mentioning. We won't dive deeper into them. Next presentation. Address poisoning. What is address poisoning? Well, address poisoning is closely related to fake airdrops. However, in address poisoning, it's not that you claim a fake airdrop. In address poisoning, someone will send you a fake cryptocurrency. And then that dummy cryptocurrency, it will look like a real cryptocurrency. And then if you accidentally make transactions with it, you might end up revealing information somehow. And then after that, they can make away with your money. Or alternatively, what they could do again is they could send you a fake cryptocurrency, and then when they send you that fake cryptocurrency, you'll see the price of that cryptocurrency rising, and then you'll be attracted to that cryptocurrency and say, wow, what if it goes to 100x? I will lose lots of money. Okay, I'll miss out on a big opportunity. So you decide to buy it, and when you buy it, that's when you lose your money. Well, next slide. The next scam we're going to talk about is fake liquidity pools. We did talk about liquidity pools, and when we talked about liquidity pools, we did say that liquidity pools are basically that pool of money that people trade. It could be the cryptocurrency and the stable coin that someone trades against each other, those pairs. That's what a liquidity pool is. Now, what are fake liquidity pools? Fake liquidity pools could be showing that they have more value than they do have actually. Also, if you try to buy something like, first of all, fake liquidity pools look like real liquidity pools. Now you can't tell them apart. But if you try to buy anything in a fake liquidity pool, you will not be able to buy it because fake liquidity pools act like honeypots. Honeypots, they look very shiny. They look like they have too much honey, but the moment you get in, that's when you're lost. So you try to buy a cryptocurrency using that fake liquidity pool, but then in the process you realize that you can't trade, you can't change your money back just like that. It means you've lost your money like that. I know there are many ways to lose your money in the crypto space if you do not educate yourself enough. To the newbies, it's very important for you to understand what cryptocurrency is all about. It's very important for you to know what cryptocurrency is all about. Otherwise, you could risk losing to such shenanigans. Be very careful. Be very careful with the money. Be very careful where you spend your money. Be very careful with what you interact with. That's one thing. And above everything, ensure you consistently and continuously learn. We're now going to talk about P2P scams. Next slide. P2P scams. I know, probably if you are here today, you've tried trading with someone on P2P or you've traded with someone on P2P. And if that's so, I'd like to know, how was the experience? Did you enjoy trading with somebody? How much did you trade? Okay, you shouldn't disclose the amount you traded. That's just a joke. But how was your experience? Did you love trading with that person? Well, in as much as you love trading with the person you traded with on P2P, I feel like P2P scams are some things that you should know. Probably you manage to navigate without getting scammed because Binance is a very awesome platform which is secure. It ensures that you're secure with your money and no one can make away with your money. But what if you happen to interact with a P2P scam? How will you go about it? And what are the common cryptocurrency scams that you would likely interact with on P2P? Let's find out. Some of the scams we're going to talk about, number one, are paid but cancelled scams. We're going to dissect that in detail for you to understand what paid but cancelled scams are. Once we're done with that, we'll talk about account selling scams. Should you sell your account to someone who is asking you to sell your Binance account to them? We'll find out about that. Then the next thing we'll talk about are SMS scams. You've received this amount of money from so and so, and then they tell you, hey, can you kindly release my crypto because I've sent you the money. When you've not received the money in your actual account, what do you do on that? Those are common scams as well. Then there are email scams. How do you go about these P2P scams? Let's find out. First scam, Charles. Paid but cancelled scam. What do we mean by paid but cancelled scam? In some of your endeavors trading, or when you're trading with a merchant, one of the things that could happen is, oh, sorry, not a merchant. Let me not choose a merchant's name. Let me say when you're trading with a trader on P2P. Yes, I'll make this anonymous because our merchants are good people. Well, when you're trading with a trader on P2P, sometimes you could trade with a trader who you're not familiar with, number one, which means you do not know this trader at all. Actually, most of the time, you trade with traders whom you're not familiar with. Now, when trading with these traders who you're not familiar with, one of the things that might happen is you could start an order, and that order could be maybe a pay or buy order. Let's say you just executed a buy order. Once you've executed a buy order, it means that you'll be expecting to receive USDT from that merchant, while you on the other side will be paying cryptocurrency to that merchant or to that trader. That's what will happen. Now, that is simple. If you're not a fraudulent person, you'd easily transfer your money and then they'll easily release their money to you, provided you provide proof of payment or everything related. Yeah. But let's talk about the scenario two. Scenario two. Let's say you are the one. Okay, not account selling. Back to the previous slide. Okay, let's say now you're the one who is selling who is selling crypto to a trader, and that trader is supposed to send you cash. Now, what will normally happen in some cases is the trader who is supposed to send you cash will click paid, and then on your side you'll see that that transaction has been paid for, and then they'll urge you to cancel the transaction because your transaction has been paid for. Although you have not received the money on your end, after that has happened, what that trader will do, they'll cancel your trade. Someone close your trade. You'll not receive the money that you're expecting to receive, the cash that you're expecting to receive from that trader, and just like that, they would have made away with their money. That is the paid but cancelled scam, or someone just clicking that they're paid, someone claiming that they're paid. They could share fake proofs that they are paid, and then you believe them that they are paid. And after that, you just release your cash, which is dangerous. For such cases, you should ensure that you've received the money in your account. We'll talk about this going further. Next slide. The next question is, should you sell your Binance account? Mr. W came to you telling you, hey, Roy, or hey, cat, or hey, cow, or hey, whatever your name is, hey, could you sell me your Binance account? I'm willing to give you this amount if you sell me your Binance account. Well, should you sell it to them or should you not? I know someone might think a Binance account is just a Binance account, and if I sell it, it's not a big deal. Well, let me tell you, sir or ma'am, it's a big deal. Do not sell your Binance account. Most of the times, individuals who choose to buy a Binance account from you intend to involve in fraudulent activities. And what do they intend to gain from these fraudulent activities? Some of them are trying to launder huge amounts of money, which means that your Binance account can be caught with a terrible case as a result of that. And since your Binance account has it has your legal identity. Like when you're verifying your Binance account, you have to use your ID, you have to use your phone number, you have to use everything that is yours, which means if you sell your Binance account, it's your identity that's on the line. Anybody who has committed fraud using your Binance account or has involved in dangerous activities using your Binance account can easily expose you to danger, and you'll be the one who will be sued for it. How does that sound? Does it sound cool selling your Binance account? I know it doesn't. Do not sell your Binance account no matter how much somebody urges you to sell your Binance account, no matter how much they're going to pay you for your Binance account. You could just land into serious legal issues if you do so. Next slide. SMS scams. What are SMS scams and how do they happen? SMS info, short message service. I believe all of you are aware of that by now. And if you're not aware of it, I believe you should be aware of it right after I've talked about it. How do they happen? Someone can send you a fake SMS that claims they have paid you a certain amount of money when in reality they haven't paid you that amount of money. I know. Why do people have to be so fraudulent? Anyway, it's just their nature. They will do that and then they'll present that as fake SMS. They'll present it to you and then claim that they've paid you enough money. I mean, the right amount of money, and they've paid you your money. If you're not keen enough, you would most likely release. You'll most likely release that transaction, and as a result, that party will successfully make away with your money. Well, you should always pay attention. You should always pay attention to prevent yourself from such scams. Also, it's very important to ensure that the money has hit your account before you release any transaction. That's the best way when it comes to any P2P scam. Next presentation slide. Email scams. What are email scams and how do they happen? Well, have you ever received an email that told you something that was not real? Like, for example, the email texted you saying that, "Hello, Mr. KK," or "Mr. WW," or "Mr. UU," or "Mr. VV." There's this, you should be releasing this amount of money to my account right now because I have paid you. The email could be saying, "Okay, I just sent you this amount of money on Binance and I executed a trade with you. Now, what you should do is you should release me this amount of money because I have paid you and I have an email to prove that I have paid you." Wow, that sounds so possessive. Why would someone pursue you to release your money if they've truly paid you? If they've truly paid you, they won't persuade you. You'll just see they've paid you and you'll easily release the money, which sounds twisted. If anybody approaches you with those kinds of approaches, just know they're a scam and they're trying to make away with their money. And some of them will claim that Binance has your money on the escrow account, so you should release the crypto because they've already paid you, or any kinds of weird lies they tell you about your Binance account. Well, when email scams, you should ensure, first of all, you have your anti-phishing code. Any email that does not come from your official Binance account, do not respond to that. Ensure every email that comes to you is legitimate. Do not interact with email accounts that are not legitimate. And if anybody texts you claiming to be Binance, they're full of lies. Don't believe them. That's how you deal with email scams. Well, let's move into the next category of scams. The next category of scams are scams we've talked about in detail, not in detail, on surface level. We did talk about fake cryptocurrency exchange scams, and we did mention how such fake cryptocurrency exchanges mimic original platforms claiming to be legitimate when they actually are not. Also, there are fake Binance apps that pretend to be real Binance apps. Remember to use the official Binance domain, which we shared was binance.com, and try to use the official Binance domain. Any domain that's not that, do not use it. And even on Play Store, ensure you're downloading the right Binance application, because they're fake Binance applications and they'll try to trick you into sharing your details when you sign in into those applications. And then in the long run, they'll make away with your money, which is not cool at all. If you love yourself, if you love your peace of mind, be cautious. If you love your peace of mind, ensure that you do not involve with fake applications. Ensure that. Also, they might manipulate your wallet. Some of them could be fake wallets. Ensure that you do not interact with such. Do your own research on any platform that you meet, and ensure you're interacting with the right domains for any application that you're interacting with. That's not only for Binance, that's for your safety entirely in the crypto space. Yeah. Next slide. The next thing we're going to talk about is WhatsApp phishing scams, or any other social phishing scams that are related to social media. And to talk about this, I'll mention platforms like Instagram, could be TikTok, could be Snapchat, could be whichever platform you're on. Someone could try to fish you, and they do come up with very interesting ways to captivate you. Sometimes it could be a beautiful lady telling you, "Hey, I would like to love you." And then, since you think their intentions are pure and genuine, you start talking to them. And in the process of talking to them, they start asking something out of you. They'll be like, "Hey, I need this amount of crypto. Could you send me this amount of crypto? I'm stuck in this kerfuffle and I need help." They'll tell you such things. And then when you try engaging with them further, you'd realize that, oh, all this was a lie. All this was a lie. You just lose your money like that. Other ways they try to engage you, they tell you, "Oh, I'm from this place and we're starving," or "I'm from Africa and we're starving. We do not have food in Africa. We need food." They'll tell you all those things just to get you into sending them some money, or into making away with your money. Or someone will tell you, "My bank account has been frozen. I don't know what to do. I need help." All those things they'll tell you. They come in different forms, they come in different shapes, and their intention is just to play with your mind, number one, and then number two, make away with your money. That's all phishing. Be cautious. Do not interact with contacts that you are not aware of. Always verify who that person is. Don't interact with anybody. If someone DMs you on Telegram, because some of them also impersonate Binance chants, some of them will impersonate Binance angels, some of them will impersonate the Binance team. And they'll come to your inbox telling you, "Hey, do you need any help with the application?" And then when you say, "Yes, I need help with my application," they'll go ahead and tell you, "Okay, I'm from Binance support and I'd like to help you." And since you think they're legitimate, they'll go ahead and then tell you, "I'm going to charge you this amount of money for helping you with your account issue." Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. Contact the Binance customer support directly. There's no Binance customer support on Telegram. There's no Binance customer support on WhatsApp or on any other social media platform. Binance customer support is only on your Binance application. And if you wish to contact them, ensure you use your Binance application to contact Binance customer support. Well, let's move to the next one. Now we're on to the interesting bit of today's session. We've talked about all those bad things that could happen to you, which actually matter. Knowing about them matters, but they actually do not matter. Understanding them is what matters. Now, we're going to talk about a different bit of all this, and that is safety measures. How do you secure yourself from such circumstances? How do you ensure that these scammers don't beat you down? Well, let's talk about it. First thing, before transacting with anyone, you should always verify them. And by verify them, what do I mean? When it's on P2P, in terms of P2P, I'll start by handling issues that are related to P2P. You should always look at this person's profile. What is their average release time? How long have they been on the Binance platform? How frequently do they trade? And what is their reputation on the platform? If they have a negative reputation, probably they've done negative things, because someone does not just get a negative reputation out of the blues. Yeah, so you should always double check them, always look into their profiles, always understand who these people are before dealing with them. That's on P2P. Also, on P2P, if someone comes to you offline telling you, I would like to trade with you, Charles, what do? Block them. You can report them for being a scammer. Because why does someone want to trade with you outside the Binance platform? Don't engage with them. That is the second one. Then a third one, still on P2P. This is the cream of everything, and understanding this will save you from a lot of possible scams that you could encounter on P2P. Before you release your money on P2P, or before you release your crypto on P2P, always ensure that you have the money deposited into your account. What do I mean by that? Having the money deposited into your account. Don't just take fake proof of payment for it. If someone says they've paid you, don't take their word for it. Don't take their screenshot for it. Wait for the money to land on your bank account or your mobile money account. Could be M-Pesa, MTN, Vodacom, whichever line you use. Ensure it has landed into your account first. That's the cream of safety on Binance P2P. Other than that, what else should you do to protect yourself? Be cautious. Be cautious of the people you trade with. Always be cautious of the people you trade with. Don't. If someone persuades you to release your money on P2P, then probably they're a scammer. Because the question is, why are they persuading you? That's the big question. That is it with P2P. And other than that, we're getting to your Binance account. How do you secure your Binance account? On your Binance account, ensure that you've input all the security measures that are required. That is adding your email, verifying your mobile number, adding Google Authenticator, your passkeys. Ensure all those things are added to your account to ensure that your account is secured. That's on your Binance account. Then the next thing is wallets. Wallets, in terms of wallets, if you are interacting with Web3 wallets, ensure you do not share your seed phrases with anyone. Do not share your seed phrases. Do not share your private keys. Not with anybody. Even if they tell you, "Hey, I'm a friendly person and I'd like to borrow your seed phrase." Why is that person asking for a seed phrase? It does not make sense. Avoid those people. Also, when it comes to downloading applications, ensure that every application you're downloading from the official Play Store, do not download from dummy sites that do not make sense. And if you're accessing the web domain, ensure you are accessing the right web domain. For Binance, it's binance.com, www.binance.com, https, then :/, www.binance.com. Yeah, ensure you're accessing those right URLs. Also, another safety measure, do not share your private information with anybody haphazardly. You should be careful who you share your sensitive information with, not just anybody, not just everybody. Also, another thing that you should ensure you do to keep yourself safe, the people you're communicating with, be very conscious on who you're communicating with. Do not just allow random DMs from all and sundry. You don't know the person. Why are they in your DM? You don't know the person. Why are they talking to you? Don't engage with such if you do not know them. Also, another way to protect yourself is using a strong password. A strong password goes a long way because if your password is strong, not everybody can guess your password. Not everybody can access your password if your password is strong. So ensure you keep a strong password at all times. What does a strong password look like? A strong password has multiple characters that are dynamic in nature. Let me give an example of a strong password. A strong password could have up to 12 characters, 12 between 8 to 12 characters. And in these 8 to 12 characters, one character has to be an uppercase letter, another one has to be a lowercase letter, you should have a number. Other than a number, you should also have a unique character, and the unique character could be a star, hashtag, dash, hyphen. All those are unique characters. Ensure your password follows that criteria so that it can be safe. The last one, someone will come to you, give me this and I'll give you $1 billion, or we can trade $1 billion through this and that. Someone will come to you like that. How do you deal with that? First of all, that sounds too good to be true. Why would you trust someone who comes with an offer that sounds too good to be true? The answer is you do not trust them. If it sounds too good to be true, it's too good to be true. Do not trade with those people. Above everything, there's customer support. Customer support is your number one contact platform. In case you're experiencing any issues with your Binance account, remember to contact customer support. They will always help you. Other than that, I also love to share, make research your best friend. In crypto, we do say do your own research, or DYOR. DYOR is the epitome of all safety. DYOR is the epitome of safety. The best way to protect yourself is doing your own research. So do your own research on any platform that you come across. Do your own research on everything and anything that you hear. Do your own research. That is the best way to protect yourself. And in conclusion of today's session, I'd like to leave you with a famous quote from, I don't know who came up with it, but it's a very famous quote. The famous quote says, not your keys, not your coins. And with that, I would love to wrap up this session. Back to you, Charles.
Yes, Ray. Thank you for that session. That has been eye-opening. So if you're listening in and you've fallen in a scam before, this is I hope this has enlightened you. Or if you're listening in and you haven't fell in any scams before, I hope this has been an eye-opener to you, right? So yeah, we'll be having at least these sessions around scams each and every month, or each and every each and every month. Let's just say each and every month, where we go through this so that we can educate you on what to look out for when you're interacting out there in the space, so that you don't fall into the scams. So yeah, we've gone overboard by 10 minutes, but it's been worth it, just learning so that you don't fall into this again. So with that, I don't see any questions coming in, but as we always say, if you have any other questions, you can always join our community and just post your question over there, and we'll be sure to answer you. And whatever we said here is not really financial advice, and seek to do your own research. So with that, do have a lovely night and a lovely weekend ahead, and always stay safe. So bye and cheers.